I'm active. Look at before it said 6. Yes. He's ready. It's this guy.
Ready? All right, we'll call the City of Kewaunee Special Meeting of the Common Council to order for July 15th. Let the record show all members are present with the exception of Anderson Conley excused. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
You know.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Item 3, public comment communications, 3-minute time limit per person. Is there anyone that wishes to speak under public comment this evening? Is there anyone that wishes to speak under public comment? There being none, we will close public comment. I'm sorry, I missed approval of the June 10th, 2024 Common Council minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections?
I'll move it too.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Boards, commissions, committee and staff reports. Any questions on those? Yeah, approve those. Just move on, right?
You always have.
Yeah. Do we have a motion to approve those as submitted?
I'll move.
Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 6, mayor's report, 6A. List my appointments and all together. If there's any reason anyone wants a single one out, we can pull one out. Otherwise, we're going to have a motion to approve all as submitted here. Public Library Board appointments. Appointment of Abby Schaller to serve remainder of a 3-year term expiring July 31st, 2025. Reappoint Ben Garrell to a 3-year term expiring July 31, 2027. Appoint Jenny Schleiss to serve a 3-year term beginning August 1st, 2024 and expiring July 31st, 2027. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There is no unfinished business. Item 8, new business. 8A will be deferred to the next meeting. 8B, approved contract addendum number 21 with Cedar Corporation for the preparation of the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan update in the amount of $18,500.
It's been presented through the Public Property Committee to update the plan, which is technically expired now, to update for at least another 5 years of capital improvements planning through the Corp, and with horizon of 10 years, which would include additional projects to include. And the reason for doing this is so we can not only update, so we can actually file for grants with an updated plan, which is recognized by the DNR, but also to add additional projects such as the Marsh Walk project and the campground improvements. In terms of where this would be paid for, there were 2 possible options. We could either use CIP fund proceeds, which means that I'd be back to you next month with an amendment to the CIP to add those projects into the CIP, or add the Corp update into the CIP so we can pull the money out of that fund and use it to pay for it, or use the ARPA fund proceeds, which would be a cleaner, simpler process to do for this. Staff recommends approval of the addendum number 21, which project will start this month and should be completed by March of next year, which is a rush. They're moving it through this project in order to get it there. We recommend approval using ARPA funds proceeds to compensate for the project.
I would have a question. ARPA funds would probably be better too, because there is a timeline that we have to utilize those by, correct?
Yes.
We have to have them. Allocated, I guess you wanna say, by the end of this year, used
Okay.
up by the end of 20, I think it's 2025.
Okay, and at this point, do we have them all allocated or
No,
not?
there's
So,
nothing, there's no.
so it would
list.
probably be a good idea to actually do that. Then I think that would be a good idea to take them from here. That would be my recommendation.
Any questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the contract addendum number 21 for the court update using ARPA fund proceeds to pay for the project.
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I should do more roll call on that.
Yeah.
Please call roll.
Brewster,
Aye.
Anderson is absent, Oftedal,
Aye.
Nelson,
Aye.
Conley is absent, Brown,
Yes.
Blaha.
Motion carried. 8C, adopt ordinance number 650-2024, amending various sections of chapter 94 zoning of City of Kewaunee Municipal Code, establishing the PDD Planned Development District as an enabling district for future PDD district options.
Yeah, this is an ordinance that was reviewed in a public hearing by the planning commission on June 27th. This is a creation of a district for use in the future. We're not specifically mapping anything with a PDD, but what this does is it allows for a flexible district alternative to the base districts that we currently have available, provides different options along with a different set of criteria to require maybe a little something extra or other additional things to come into place as part of the design project. Implementing this amounts to a text amendment to the zoning ordinance, and then whenever somebody wants to come in and bring in a project with using this type of option, it follows the same public hearing and adoption process as any other rezoning process. Goes through a public hearing, the planning commission, then common council would have to adopt it in order for a PDD to actually map to the a property in the city.
Could you give us a hypothetical example of something like that where it would potentially play out then?
Well, one of the ones that's been recently talked about, I don't know if it's ever gonna come to play, but there's a project down on the property that is currently, or formerly the Mermaid Tails. And the property immediately adjacent, we've had a developer come in the last few times, the last several months, to talk about a development project there where they basically take out the buildings, replace them with a multi-story residential condo development. Which under the current district standards wouldn't be possible. They're proposing more units than would be allowed under our only other option, which would be the R3 multifamily district. Their development density is designed and built around the idea of putting the parking underneath the building or on the first floor of the building, and then residential apartments above. And the idea is that they would provide some kind of design to permit people to be able to live down there in a condo arrangement with minimal on-site maintenance other than the standard condo arrangement for maintaining the building. We can't do that currently under our ordinance because we don't have anything nearly able to handle that kind of redevelopment. And it would allow us to essentially replace a derelict structure with something else that would at least generate better tax revenue, better.
If we did nothing in that hypothetical scenario, would it be then would an option for that to be brought in to be rezoned to R3? And it would basically be the same thing
You couldn't do what they're proposing with.
because of the
R3.
setbacks and requirements for R3.
There
Yeah,
were some setback issues.
Right,
From
maybe
the
so, yeah.
sidewalk and from the road and from the property line.
yeah, that property
When
is,
our architect was here, there was some.
that property
That's
was,
the biggest
Setback.
struggle is the size, yeah.
yeah, and the setbacks would require front yard setbacks on 3 sides. Which would make it really, really difficult to do any kind of redevelopment on that property.
And it still would go through all the same channels through planning commission and the city council, so.
Yes, so you'd have this doesn't approve them This just enables them to have an option to do that kind of project. You'd still end up reviewing it at this level to adopt.
Any questions? If there are no questions, I would ask for a motion to approve ordinance number 650-2024.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
John?
John. Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carried. 8D, adopt ordinance number 651-2024, amending chapter 94 zoning of the city of Kewaunee Municipal Code for specific minor amendments.
Yeah, Planning Commission reviewed this also at the last Planning Commission meeting on June 27th. There are 3 specific amendments included here. One is to 94-16 Part D, which adds a new section, essentially adding a new conditional use to the B3 Highway District, the campground. This is for that property on the south end of town, on Milwaukee Street. Section Part 2 is an amendment which repeals the section on protests, which was required under state law and under 2023 Wisconsin Act 16. That section of the Wisconsin code was eliminated. So we have no frame of reference to include this. So this essentially would wipe out that entire section. And this third amendment is to section 94-385C2, which allows for murals to include some limited identifying messaging for the business or businesses on the building in the building in which the mural would be located. That was at the request of the planning commission to prevent some kind of identification marker without making the entire sign about the entire mural a business sign. And as I mentioned, the planning commission passed this forward to you for approval.
Any questions? If there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 651-2024. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carried. 8E, amend the city of Kewaunee fee schedule to add new fee for short-term rental licenses.
A few months ago, if you remember, we adopted ordinance 647, which repealed and replaced the regulations for short-term rentals. Common Council elected to adopt fees for the procurement of those of the city-based licenses for these uses. Current regulations are essentially a replica of the same that were set up in Algoma. Algoma posted an initial fee structure of $1,000 for new rentals and $500 for annual license renewals, which was obviously faced some blowback. And they reduced the fee to $100 for both new licenses and renewals. The purpose of the fee is to make the implementation enforcement as the purpose of the process is to make it an implementation enforcement as transparent as possible. The license fee is just a reasonable request to pay for the costs for staff time on the application and for issuance of the license and the renewals. The proposed fee is essentially duplicating what Algoma currently charges. So all we're doing is just simply passing that forward, including that in our schedule. I included on the second sheet the front page of the fee schedule and on an arrow on the left side showing that it would go essentially under the license list at the bottom and just be essentially attached to the license list as a new fee, and it would just simply read $100 for new licenses and renewals. And then we'd implement that process going forward for anybody needing to renew and essentially imposing a renewal process and a new application process.
And along with those applications, it's going to be the DATCP license number seller's permit as well.
Yes.
Which did we set our renewal date, which would be obviously after the state permit?
We set ours up to be essentially running roughly in concert with theirs.
Okay,
So their process runs from July through June, and we would do the same. So they run theirs on the basis of the state fiscal year, so we do the same.
any further discussion? Not, I would entertain a motion to approve an amendment to the 2024 fee schedule to add a license fee of $100 for short-term rentals for both new license applications and renewals.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 8F, approved proposal for a roof replacement on fire station number 1 in the amount of $19,556.
Yeah, the roof on fire station number 1 is in need of replacement. Fire department staff had been inquiring with various contractors about replacing the roof. And they got quotes for about 3 different types of systems for roofs, including asphalt shingle replacements, metal standing seam, and then steel roof panels with either complete replacement of the subroof system or varying kinds of covering over it. Public Works followed up on this and worked with SMP Construction LLC on the possible replacement of the roof using steel roof panels covering over the existing asphalt shingles, including 2 rows of snow bars in order to prevent snow from shuffling off the roof and landing on somebody. The current estimate is as attached, reflects the cost for this work, subject to a possible increase if the contractor goes up on the roof and finds that there's some rotten substructure or something that has to be replaced, but pending finding none of that, this is the basis for the replacement of the roof itself. System comes with a 40-year warranty for the panels. City will allow us to stretch out our roof replacement on station number 1. Public Works Committee previously recommended this. Finance Committee also forwarded this estimate to council for approval. Staff recommends approval.
Any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the proposal by SNP Construction LLC dated June 26, 2024 to replace the roof on fire station number 1 in the amount of $19,556, with the understanding that additional cost for subroof replacement may be incurred during the project execution.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Brewster.
Aye.
Anderson's absent. Oftedal.
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
Conley's absent. Brown.
Yes.
Blaha.
Yes.
Motion carried. 8G, approved bid for seal coating work by Scott Construction Incorporated in the amount of $57,411.
Public Works advertised bids, or actually the city clerk advertised bids on behalf of Public Works for the following road projects. Resurfacing the hospital road, which is partly funded by the state LRIP program, which would involve a request to advertise for asphalt hot mix purchase. And then a seal coating of 2 blocks of street on Harrison Street, from Milwaukee Street to Main Street, and Lake Street from Ellis to Kilbourne, paid from general fund budgeted funds. Bids were advertised and the close date was July 2. City received no bids for the asphalt hot mix purchase. And we're going to we're re-executing the bid purchase process for that to be completed on August 1st. The city received 1 bid for the seal coating project from Scott's Construction, and asphalting in the amount of $57,411. Public Works Committee recommended approval of this bid, and so that's the recommendation.
Questions?
Move to approve.
So we have a motion to approve the bid for seal coating work by Scott Construction Incorporated in the amount of $57,411. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Brewster.
Aye.
Anderson is absent. Oftedal.
Aye.
Nelson.
Aye.
Conley's absent. Brown.
Yes.
Blaha.
Yes.
Motion carried. 8H, Class A retail license application for Dolgen Corp. LLC DBA Dollar General Store number 6509991 Marquette Drive, John Green, agent. Do we have a motion to approve There a second?
I'll second.
I'm just curious, Heath, why in the bottom does it say action at the discretion?
That's, don't worry about that. That was, that write-up is for a different item. We attached that after I did the item
Oh, okay.
write-up. This is for something at the end.
Oh.
This is about the,
So we only can use discretion, I guess.
Well, just why we would put that?
this is, yeah, we added those two items right at the end, right before the packet went out, so, yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Without further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 8I, application for renewal of campground license, Kewaunee Business Development, 202 Milwaukee Street. Do we have a motion to approve the license?
Full second.
Jim. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 8J, reschedule August regular council meeting due to primary election on Tuesday, August 13th. So when would we normally be? We'd be the 12th. So we want to do the following Monday again? Third Monday?
I think we both went down that lane.
How about the first Monday?
Of August.
Yeah, which,
The fifth. Not the sixth, it's the fifth, would be the first
Oh,
Monday. The fifth, right, the fifth.
do we wanna see what we have with Conley and Anderson? Because if the both of them are gonna be here, if, you know, Scott can't make it, we're down one, as long as we have a quorum. Do we wanna try for the third Monday? Keith, do you wanna circulate an email and we can nail that down?
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright.
We'll shoot for the third Monday, 19th. All right, then we'll move on to 8K financial report, May 2024. Has everybody had an opportunity to review that? And are there any questions? I have motion to approve. Is there a second? Jim,
I didn't hear it, okay, sorry.
any further discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 9, announcements. Do we have any announcements this evening? Any announcements this evening? All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
I moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Thank you all. Thanks for coming, Nathan. You want to shut the lights off on our way out?